ball out of bounds. He couldn't get the handle on it. He wanted to make his move, ran into heavy traffic, and Kentucky turns it over quickly. And I think we'll see both clubs a little jittery early. Kentucky's man-to-man. Harrell brings it down for the Duke Blue Devils. Macy's taking him. They've put Clater on the big guy. The big guard. Here's a bad pass by Harrell, and it goes out of bounds. And again, jitter showing at both ends of the court right now.
At that time, Duke came down and opened up on a high-low pivot post. They were stacking and trying to break Banks up for the shot that he likes around the free throw line.
Duke is not using its 2-3. They're in a 1-3-1. Kentucky uses that zone a lot and should know it. Macy works down the right side, brings it back out. Cross courts it to Clater. Clater moves to the left side, doesn't penetrate, comes to the top of the key, gives to Macy. Macy looking inside, back out to Clater. Clater works to the left side, goes halfway down, looks at Roby, gives to him in the corner. Roby gives to Givens, back to Roby. Roby comes across the lane, can't get through. Clater out of the left corner, fires. No good, and Duke's got the rebound. Jaminsky pulls it down, up to Spanarkel. Clater's waiting for him. A long pass to Jaminsky, puts it up, blocked by Phillips. But they say Phillips got him. So Kentucky. Phillips got great hand on the ball, but apparently got him with his body, in the opinion of the referee, Roy Clymer, who called that one. It'll be 2 shots for Jaminsky, and we might tell you that Duke is the best free throw shooting team in the nation. Jaminsky going to the line for 2. Puts it up there, and it is good. So Duke goes ahead, 1-0. Kentucky has been unable to get started well in this whole tournament. 3 of the 4 wins have come from behind. Jaminsky rolls it in off the front edge of the rim, and Duke goes on top 2-0. Full court zone press. And it comes into Clater. And they've got him double-teamed. He gives a bad pass back to Macy, but he handles it all right. Throws it up to Roby. Roby swings down on the left side. Goes for the basket, puts it in. Beautiful move by Rick Roby. Ties it up 2-all. Duke down court. Spanarkel to Harrell. Harrell checks as Macy's with him man-to-man. Denard takes it outside. Macy has him. Here a driving baseline by Spanarkel. He lays it up, missed it. Tapped up, no good. And Jaminsky commits the foul, coming up on Mike Phillips' back. Phillips had great position that time. So that's Duke's first foul. Kentucky gets a chance to go ahead. Spanarkel got away, but missed the reverse layup. Duke still in the 1-3-1. Macy brings it down on the right side. Comes up to the top of the key, gives to Macy. All right, to Clater. Macy gives the signal and takes the pass back. Off on the right side, a bad pass, but Clater a little wide, handles it all right. Into Phillips on a high post, back to Clater. He had a notion, changes his mind. Top of the key, looking. Macy swings behind him, takes the pitch out. Works to the right side at long range. Backs out of there now. And tries to get it in. It was saved. It was deflected, but Clater got it. They want to go to Phillips on that one. Macy back to Clater. Macy swings through. Clater at the top of the key. He tries to get some pressure in there to Phillips. Back out to Clater. Clater over to Macy, who's back out. Now Clater goes through. Macy working. Gives to Clater on the left side. He drives in there. Passes off to Givens. He comes to the basket. Puts it up. Missed a good shot. And Phillips commits the foul on the rebound. So Mike Phillips picks up 2 quick ones. Duke gets the ball out of bounds. That was a good move by Truman Clater, and Givens came up with a close-in shot. Wouldn't go. Roby has taken Banks. We thought that Jack Givens would take him. In fact, Joe Hall had said he would, but he had a change of heart somewhere. It would have been giving away quite a bit of size. Here's Spanarkel. He's got a little guy on him, Clater. Banks out in backcourt. Harrell with it. Harrell to Banks. Denard outside. Givens is with him. Denard going in. Jaminsky has it stolen away by Mike Phillips. Mike running for the other end. Banks is back. Phillips drives, lays it up. No good. And he's fouled by Banks. That was a nice move by Mike Phillips. Almost got it. Had a good shot. And he made a little side slipping movement, or he had to run square over Banks, who tried to draw the charging foul, but he did not get his position quickly enough, and Phillips will be on the line. Kentucky has not led in the game. We've played over 2 minutes. Low scoring at 2-all. Phillips trying to give Kentucky its first lead, has 2 chances. Hits the first one, and Kentucky leads 3-2. Phillips towing the stripe again. 3 bounces. On its way. It's there. Kentucky leads 4-2. Duke on the attack. Here's Denard. Gives to Banks. They're using Banks out in backcourt. Wants to work on Roby, a bigger man. And Banks is very quick. He gives to Denard, though. Denard on the left side to Spanarkel. Throws on the give and go. Denard broke open, missed the shot, and Roby claimed it. Denard broke wide open. Macy throwing for Jack Givens. Going for the hoop. He puts it up. No good, and he's fouled. Spanarkel got him. His first. That's 3 on Duke, and Givens will be on the line. Kentucky showing Duke some speed going down court. Jack Givens draws a pair. Kentucky has the game's only field goal, that by Rick Roby. The rest of the scoring has come at the line. Both teams jittery. We thought Kentucky would be a little bit more composed than it is, being a senior ball club or a veteran team. But they're playing for a big prize, and I'm not very composed either, sitting here on the sideline. Givens sets up first of 2. It's on its way. Got it. 5-2 Kentucky. We've played almost 3 minutes. Givens. Ready to fire one more time. The Goose lets it go. It looks short, rims, and comes out of there. Jaminsky claims it, and Duke comes on the attack. Spanarkel still moving. Slater waits for him, picks him up. Pass goes to Jaminsky, who's out in backcourt. Harrell takes it. Harrell slants left, gives to Banks. Banks throwing into Jaminsky behind Phillips, and Phillips is holding him. So Mike Phillips has picked up all 3 fouls called against Kentucky.
Mike Phillips trying to punt Jaminsky. Obviously, that's what he's been told to do. I would look for them to come with James Lee here as soon as Dickie Parsons signals Joe. That's 3 fouls on Phillips, but he has not made the move yet.
Roby trying to help him out a little bit right now on the inbounds play, but he's got to go get his man. And Roby has taken Banks now, which he's had. There's that floater, and he's behind him. It's good. Jaminsky got behind Phillips. And Coach Joe Hall pacing the sideline. It's 5-4. Each team now has a field goal. Kentucky with a 1-point lead in the ball. Roby on the left side. Out to Macy. Right side to Givens. Right corner. Clater lets it fly. Good. Ruben Clater hits out of the deep right corner, and Kentucky leads 7-4. Duke with it. Harrell. Harrell driving. Gives to Jaminsky. Outside to Banks. Banks is driving. He puts up a shot coming in that comes off. Grabbed by Phillips. Bounces it out to Macy. Macy still moving with it. He checks. Duke in a 2-3 zone now. Right side to Givens. Out deep to Clater. Clater working to the left side. Macy takes it. He comes outside with it on the dribble. Back on the left side to Roby. Halfway to the corner. Roby checks. Outside to Clater. Clater tightens it up. Gives to Givens. In there. Phillips moves. Lays it up. Missed it. Made a great move and then blew a layup. They're running the other way. And nobody's got Jaminsky. Roby goes for him, but Clater slaps it out of bounds. Phillips made a super move and then missed a gimme. He's disgusted with himself as James Lee checks in. 6'5", 230-pound senior. So Roby will play the pivot and take Jaminsky. Phillips in early foul trouble. He's committed all 3 fouls called against Kentucky. Pass comes outside to Jaminsky. He gives off and moves under. Spanarkel looking for him. Moves with it himself across the lane. Puts it up. Good. And Clater hit the deck. No calls. Spanarkel gets his first 2. 7-6. Kentucky by 1. And with the ball. 2-3 zone again. Lee on the left side. Out to Clater. To Givens. Right corner to Macy. Macy pulls the trigger. Got it. 9-6 Kentucky. Harrell with it for Duke in offensive court. Checks. Looks. Still looking. Still looking. Gets it off. Knocked out of bounds by Givens. Almost picked it off. Givens has taken Banks now as Kentucky has put Lee on Denard. Kentucky has a 3-point lead at 9-6. Duke has the ball. And Clater is guilty of fouling Spanarkel. His first, Kentucky's 4th. They never did throw the ball in play. And it looks like they're going to call for a timeout. They are, with 15:22 to go. We've played less than 5 minutes. Duke will have the ball out of bounds with Kentucky leading 9-6. This is the University of Kentucky Basketball Network.
Kentucky 3 of 6, Duke 2 of 5. With the Cats leading by 3 with 15:22 to go, it'll be Duke's ball. Both teams opening up very jittery here in the championship game of the NCAA.
Duke's ball, offensive court. Left side, Denard on Banks on the alley-oop. Roby intercepts it. Feeds it up to Clater. Clater up to Givens. Givens bouncing low to Lee. It's picked off. It's still a loose ball. They scrap for it. Duke's got it. 2-on-2. Spanarkel. Spanarkel driving on Macy. Hands it off to Banks. He whips it to Jaminsky. A 10-footer is no good. Put back up by Banks is no good, and Roby's got it again. Roby Bounces out to Macy. Macy brings it up. Here is an attempted pass for James Lee. Kicked out of bounds. Kentucky's ball. Denard, he's just a freshman. He's saying it was a bad call, but the bench now trying to join him, and they get a warning, the Duke bench. Kyle Macy with it for Kentucky. Comes into Gibbons. He's going up for a jumper out in the left corner. Good. 11-6, Kentucky's biggest lead on top of 5. Duke with it. Here's Harrell. Harrell giving to Denard. He goes low to Banks. Banks fakes, puts it up. It is no good, but Lee got him. No, they call it on Gibbons. I thought James Lee got him reaching in, trying to help out, but they say Gibbons got him, and that's Gibbons' first, but that's Kentucky's 5th. Duke has committed only 3.
Now with Roby moving in the middle, the guard Jaminski, they've lined Banks up down low, trying to get him to go one-on-one with Jack Gibbons. They apparently, Kaywood, had anticipated that Gibbons would be opening against Banks the way we did.
And Banks is 3 inches taller at 6'7". He's got a pair coming. First one, good. Pops in. Went in, out, and back in again. 11-7. This will make 4 free throws for each team. Kentucky hit 3. Duke is 3 for 3, coming up to this one by Eugene Banks. Banks fires it. It's perfect. 11-8. He did that in the last game, I think. Folks scored 2,000 points. Okay, here's Roby with it. The 10-second line. Gives it to Clater. Duke is still in a press, a half-court press. It was full. Here's a pass to Roby. Roby to Macy. They should go low. They do, and Lee has trouble hanging on. He's got it now. Throws it way outside to Clater. Clater swings it left side. Boy, Duke coming tenaciously on defense now. Back from Gibbons. Clater breaking in there. Bounces off to James Lee. Stuff.
Good play by Truman Clater. He saw Lee there, and he drew everybody around him.
Truman Clater caused that play. He penetrated, drew the crowd. 13-8. That was about a half stuff, really, by Lee. Here's Spanarkel. He drives in the right corner. Clater's with him. Outside to Harrell. Here's Harrell with a long one. Got it. He doesn't shoot very often, but he was dead center with that jumper from the outside. 13-10. Both teams hitting well. Duke sticking with his own. Kentucky's been man-to-man all the way. Macy down. Gives to Lee on the right side. Out to Clater. Left side to Gibbons. Left corner, and Macy's going to pull the trigger. Got it. Macy's 2 for 2. 15-10 Kentucky. Long pass to Jaminski. Roby's with him. Jaminski shoots. No good. Roby's got it. Up to Clater. Clater runs over Denard, but now Denard did not give him room, and I think that's a bad call. You have to give the man a step. I thought Clater got a bad rep there. You have to give the man a step. And TC's aching a little bit. That's Kentucky's 6. I don't think Coach Joe Hall liked that. I didn't think he had a step. You have to give him a step when he has his back to you. Spanarkel with it for Duke. Got a new man, Sutteth, in there. James Lee with him. Out in backcourt to Harrell. They go to Banks on a high pivot. Left corner to Spanarkel. Spanarkel looking for Jaminski. Fires it himself. It is no good, and Gibbons pulls it off. Wants to throw long. Changes his mind. Gives to Macy. Up to Lee. Lee can't hang on to it out of bounds. It was a good pass, but Lee was not looking for the ball. And Coach Hall and Macy exchanging a few words. There was nothing wrong with the pass. Lee just didn't see it in time. Bender checking in for Duke. So Kentucky has rolled it over after a chance to really put some daylight between the two teams with mistakes. Here is Bender working on Macy. Goes to Jaminski. Here's a hook shot. Beauty. Jaminski hooking at from about 7 feet out. And it's 15-12. Kentucky's lead to 3 when it had some chances to really get something on the board. Clater with it. Working against the zone. Lee on the left side. Into Roby. Goes to the basket. He puts it up. It's good, and he's fouled. Good, strong move to the hoop by Roby. Son Sutteth. His first. 4th against Duke. Jay Scheidler has gone in for Truman Clater at one of the guards. Each team has used 7 people. Roby trying to complete a 3-point play on its way. It is bouncing off. No good. Kentucky has hit only 3 of 5 from the line. 17-12, Kentucky leading Duke with the ball. Bender with it. Jaminski out in backcourt. Goes low to Banks. Knocked away by Gibbons, but Jaminski comes up with it. Roby took a stab at it, didn't get it, but here's Spanarkel. Right side to Bender. Bender going to Jaminski. Knocked away in there, and Gibbons has got it. Roby slapped it. Up to James Lee. Lee stops. Gives to Gibbons. He's wide open from 16 feet. Good. 19-12 as Kentucky has its biggest lead. James Lee with a nice assist there. Kentucky still man-to-man. Bender gives to Sudduth. Sudduth driving. Stops. Turns with a jump shot that is no good. Who got him? Givens or Lee?
No, they got it on James Lee. He said he got him with his body. He moved up under there. And, of course, the Kentucky coaches don't care for it. And they were right there. I think they had a better look at it than the officials. But he's the man that counts.
That's James Lee. And that's 7 on Kentucky. Duke has committed only 4. Kentucky almost, Leonard Hamilton, one of the assistants, almost drew a technical. That'd be 2 shots. They don't want that. As bad as it was, you just got to bite the bullet sometimes. It'd be 2 shots for Jim Sudduth, a 6'6" freshman. It's a very young Duke ball club, as we've said so many times. This will be Duke's 6th time at the line. Duke hasn't missed so far, 4 for 4. 2 more coming. First one, it's there. 19-13. 12:03 left in the first half. Sudduth back on the stripe. Here comes the shot. It is rolling in. Good. So Duke been to the line 6 times without a miss. Kentucky's hit only 3 of 5, but Kentucky leads 19-14. Duke in his own press. Macy out of bounds with it. Comes in to Scheidler. Scheidler drawing a crowd. Leaps a little dangerous pass. Floater back to Macy, and Macy is being held by Bender. That's Bender's first. That is, Duke has nobody with more than 1, though, and Kentucky's Mike Phillips has 3. Slater has 2. That's 5 on Duke. Kentucky will take it out of bounds. Duke falls back this time, not pressing, and Kyle Macy comes down to look at a 2-3. Duke opened at a 1-3-1, but they've gone back to that 2-3. Here's Scheidler, right side to Givens, right corner to Macy. He looks outside to Scheidler, back to Macy. Macy going low to Roby. Back reverse shot, missed it. He was off balance. He made a good move. That's out of bounds. Almost picked off by Jay Scheidler. The Kentucky bench claiming that hit the Duke player last, but the official said, nope, Duke's ball. Getch is in there for Duke now as they're arresting Jaminski. All right, here's Bender. Gives to Denard. Spanarkel. Right side it goes to Getch, to Bender. Bender driving to the baseline. We get the whistle inside, and who's it against? Givens, I believe. Jack Givens picks up his second, so Kentucky is about to run into some very serious foul trouble.
Same thing happened to the Cats in the first game against Arkansas. The whistle was quite frequent on their end of the court.
That's 8. Roby comes out as Chuck Alexinas checks in. 6'10", 250 freshman. He didn't even play Saturday afternoon. Kentucky with a 5-point lead. 7's been the biggest, but Duke can whittle into that. Banks will be on the line, 1-1. He didn't even know he'd been fouled. He was back up the court. Dead to sin for him. Banks is ready now. He's 2 for 2. Fires it. It's good, and he gets the bonus.
If Gene Banks sinks this one, then half of the points on the board for Duke will have been from the free throw line.
That's right. Kentucky getting the field goals, but all right, Banks fires again. Good again. Duke has not missed. They have been there 8 times without a miss. 19-16, Kentucky's lead is at 3. Was it 7 one time? Scheidler gets it in against the press, gives to Givens, back to Macy, up to Alexinas, back to Macy. Macy works the ball over the line, gives to Scheidler. He swings in, gives it to Alexinas. He drops the ball. They go to the floor. I think it'll be a jump. Oh, they're calling Alexinas for fouling. My heaven. Well, that's 9 on Kentucky. Duke has committed 5. Jaminski checking back in, and Rick Roby will be coming back in for Kentucky.
Well, they can cut this lead down now to just 1 point, and they have done it all right there from the stripe where the man is standing now.
This will be number 9 at the free throw line.
There was a lot of criticism after the ball game on Saturday by both coaches.
The shot, good.
Of the officials, and there was a lot of criticism of the ball game just completed here, too, of the same official that was criticized in the Kentucky-Arkansas game.
I think everybody reads how physical Kentucky is, and they look the other way sometimes. All right, that's 10 for 10 for Duke, and that's got them in the ball game. 19-18. Duke has only 4 field goals. Kentucky has 8. Comes into Givens, the press. Roby threw a pass over James Lee's head and out of bounds. Well, Roby had just come back in, and that happens sometimes. He had been on the bench a little while, and Made a big turnover there. Duke can actually come down and take the lead. They've got the ball going to Jaminski. Jaminski, fall-away jumper. No good. Roby's got that rebound. Gets it to Scheidler. Scheidler running the sideline. He goes with it himself, lays it up, missed it. Tapped in by Roby. Scheidler should have given the ball up there. He had Roby wide open. But he had the step, too, but he missed the layup. All right, Duke with it. 21-18, Kentucky. Here's Spanarkel. Right side to Bender. Back to Denard. Back to Bender on the right side. A floater to Banks. Banks, they got a wall built around him. Throws it outside to Spanarkel. He moves in. Passes off right side to Bender. Drives the baseline. Passes out. There's a block shot. Oh, come on. Roby's on the deck, and they're calling James Lee for fouling. This is unreal, folks. I'm telling you, for a national championship, I can't believe it. They flat ran over Roby. This is ridiculous officiating right now.
Now, the foul was not on number 43. The foul. No, I'm talking about a while ago on this thing, Kaywood. The man who put Roby on the deck was Gene Banks. I was just looking at the replay here in front of us.
So, Lee, maybe he did get him. That's his second. That's a 10 on Kentucky. And Duke staying in the game at the line. Jaminski hits it.
My point being that the foul was committed before Jaminski got the basketball.
21-19. I know free throws keeping Duke alive. And it's getting Kentucky in deep trouble. Good again. 21-20. Kentucky by one. Duke pressing. Macy out of bounds with it. He looks to Roby. Roby gives back to Macy. Williams is in there now for Kentucky. Givens is out. James Lee with it. Out to Scheidler. Right side to LaVon Williams. He gives to Macy in the corner. Outside to Scheidler. Scheidler working around at long range. Kentucky has had 5 free throws. Duke's had 12. Williams with it. He can't get through. Gives to Macy. Floater in the right side to Scheidler. Dangerous pass, but they got away with it. Back out to Macy. They're looping the ball a lot now. Into Lee. Turnaround jumper. No good. And Jaminski claims the rebound for Duke. Had a good shot. Didn't go from 8 feet. Kentucky man-to-man. Here's Spanarkel. To Denard. To Banks. Banks driving. He has Williams' feet. Played it in. Will it count? No. He traveled. Banks had him whipped and traveled with the ball. Harrell is checking back in as Bender comes out for Duke. We've got a timeout now with 9:41 to go here in the first half of play. Kentucky 21, Duke 20.
Well, the Kentucky Wildcats lead by 1 at 21-20 with 9:41 to go. Kentucky hitting 9 of 15 for 60%. Duke hitting 4 of 12 for 33%. You say, hey, how can that be? A team hitting 33%, trailing by only 1. Well, in the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds, Duke has had only 1 field goal. They have, however, had 8 free throws. Duke has had 12 free throws, made them all. Kentucky has had a total of 5 free throws. They have made 3. Kentucky's in deep foul trouble, and we're just a little over midway through the first half of play. Kentucky has 8 rebounds. Duke has 8 rebounds. Kentucky has 7. We're back to play, and here's Kay Wood.
All right, Duke is out in a pressing half-court zone. Scheidler to Macy, left side to LaVon Williams, out to Scheidler, right side to Lee. He tries to get it in to LaVon Williams. He puts a jumper up. It comes off of there, and Jaminski claims it for Duke. Clears it out. Kentucky's gone a little bit cold now. We're playing with the reserves. Here's Harrell. Swings off to the left side to Denard. Denard looking at the screens. They try to run a... There's a floater to Spanarkel. He misjudges the ball, chases it down, steps on the line. Cal Macy had come up with the save anyway. As Spanarkel tumbles on the Kentucky bench, and Walt McComb helping him up. Says he's okay. Walt McComb, the Kentucky trainer. 9:06 left in the first half. Crowd growing a little quiet. There's a lot of action, but not an awful lot of free throw shooting, frankly. Not much in the way of points being put up on the board. All right, it's Macy bringing it up. Duke coming way out now. And there is an interception. Roby fights back and gets it back. That was a sloppy pass. Scheidler with it. Checks. Goes to Roby inside. He drives, tries to put it up, and Jaminski's on his arms. That's what they want to do, is get it inside, hold the phone. Let's see what they call it. 33. That'd be Denard got him. His first. That's only 6 against Duke, but Kentucky finally will get in the bonus from here on. This one will be a 2-shot foul for Roby, who missed his only free throw. He's 0 for 1. Leads Kentucky in scoring with 6 points. Misses again. Kentucky as a team has hit only 3 of 6. 50%. They've been a much better free throw shooting team than that. Roby's 0 for 2. Much too hard with that one. which means the adrenaline is still going. Roby fires, got it. 22-20, Kentucky on top. Kentucky still playing it man-to-man. Denard with it, Lee with him. To Harrell, Macy with him. Harrell working, Spanarkel takes it. Gloves, Scheidler almost takes it away from him, and now Spanarkel trying to drive, and they say Scheidler's overguarding. Scheidler almost stole the ball, and then took himself a little bit out of position, and Spanarkel got a step on him on the baseline, and Scheidler got him. So Duke, a team that hasn't missed, is right back at the stripe. Wouldn't be surprised to see Kentucky drop into the zone pretty soon because they're getting people in bad foul trouble early. We're in the first half. Spanarkel misses one. Roby's got it. Gives to Macy. That was their first miss. They had 12 in a row. Here comes that half-court zone press. Scheidler takes it, runs it down the right side, gives to Williams, back out to Scheidler. Cross-court to Macy. He swings in, gives to Lee in the left corner. He's going to try one from there. Missed it. That's a little out of his range. Denard gets it for Duke. Jack Givens comes up off the Kentucky bench. Here's Harrell into the circle. Denard takes it. Swings out into backcourt. To Banks. Banks driving, stops and fires. Good. Gene Banks gets his first field goal, but that ties it up. 22-all. Kyle Macy into offensive court. Duke's come way out on that 2-3 zone now, which should give Kentucky a little more chance to work it inside. But they're playing the back three low. They go to Roby. Roby puts down a one-bouncer, puts it in. It's good, and he's fouled by Denard.
Haywood, when they picked up that field goal just a minute ago by Duke, by Banks, that was the first time Duke had had a field goal in 4 minutes and 53 seconds, and had stayed in the game and actually tied it.
Well, when you go to the free throw line 13 times, hit 12 of them, Ralph, it's awful tough to put any daylight. And Kentucky not getting near the free throws and not hitting them when it's getting them. Now Roby's at the line for the second time. He has a chance for a three-point play. He didn't do it last time. In fact, Ricks hit only 1 out of 3. 24-22, Kentucky leading. 7 minutes, 51 seconds left in the first half of play. National championship. I'd like to get cooked up, but the action hasn't been that hot and heavy lately. Roby fires it good. So Kentucky leads 25-22. Sudduth just came in, and Givens didn't find him. He's got him now. Here is Bender, who's in the game, to Banks. Banks on the left side to Sudduth. Givens with him, back to Banks. Lee with him. Here's a jump shot, and it's no good. Is it on Lee or Banks? Lee on James Lee, and I think he's just picked up his third one. Yep. So James Lee and Mike Phillips, two of the seniors, are playing with three fouls. That's 11 on Kentucky, if my figures are right. 5, 7, 10, 11, 12. Duke has committed 6. 7 make it. Banks draws a pair this time. He hasn't missed in 4 trips up there. Duke has only 5 field goals, but they're staying right in the game at the free throw line. Banks fires it up. Good. I think we're going to have to see Kentucky go into the zone. It doesn't want to, but they're calling them very close. One of the gentlemen who called so many fouls last week is working in this thing tonight. The other one did not. Banks again. Good again. He hasn't missed in 6 times, and it's 25-24. Kentucky by 1. Comes into Givens. Back to Macy. Still a zone. Macy coming in. Bounces to Givens. Givens moving in. Stops. Goes up from 15. Got it. 27-24. Duke on the attack. Kentucky with a lead. Bender with it. Kentucky now setting up the 1-3-1. There's a floater inside to Jaminski. They're calling Scheidler, believe it or not, and James Lee had to restrain him. Scheidler's picked up his second. Banks is lifted as we get Getch into the lineup for Duke. The Kentucky fans getting a little bit nasty, and I really can't blame them. Jaminski at the strike. 1-1. He fires it. Good. 27-25, and we still say Duke staying in the game at the free throw line. I don't think Kentucky's played a game this year where the other team has had so many more free throws. I can't recall it. Here's the shot. It's there. It's 27-26 as Kentucky has 11 field goals to Duke's 5, yet leads only 1 point, 27-26. Duke in a 3-quarter zone press. Macy walking it up. Waits to draw the double team, gives to Scheidler. He picks up the tempo. Freddie Cowan is in there right now for Kentucky. Back to Kyle Macy. Scheidler, 25-footer left side. Good. 29-26. Kentucky man-to-man. No, Scheidler was man-to-man. Now he hurries back on the baseline. Off on the left side it goes to Sudduth, outside to Bender. Bender looks, gives to Getch. They go inside, intercepted, knocked down by Macy, and Roby's got it running the right side. Roby stops, looks for help, hadn't found anybody, throws cross court to Scheidler, goes up for that 25-footer, no good. Freddie Cowan hooks it back up, awful close to goaltending, but no call. And Duke's got it going the other way. Kentucky thought it was goaltending. Here's Chemensky, right side against the zone. Cross courts it to Bender. Down in the left corner to Sudduth. He pulls the trigger from over there. It is no good. Over the board, out of bounds. Kentucky will put it in play. 6:15 to go. Kentucky leads 29-26. We're in the first half, and Slater is checking back in for Kentucky.
And to report this thing accurately, you have to say that Kentucky has played the entire first half. It is 35-30 with 4:19 to go here in the basketball game. And it is Kentucky leading by 5 points. Duke is hitting 7 out of 8 from the field for 38.9. Kentucky 14 of 24. 17 out of 18, I should say, for 38.9. And it is for Kentucky 14 of 24. What did I say? I'm sorry. 7 out of 18. 7. out of 18 for 38.9, and UK's hitting 14 of 24 for 58.3. But at the free throw line, Duke is hit 16 of 17. And Kentucky is 7 out of 10. It'll be Duke's ball. Here's Kaywood.
And Duke comes on the attack following the timeout. Harrell. Macy on the point. Jaminsky comes outside and takes it. Gives back to Harrell outside. Harrell works to the right side. Looks down the right side to Spanarkel. Clears it out to Denard. To Harrell. There's a bad pass, but it's saved nicely by Jaminsky. That was intended for Banks. He had already left home. All right, here's Harrell down the side to Denard. Back out to Harrell. Back to Denard. Back out to Harrell. Back to Denard. Back to Harrell. Back to Denard. Back to Harrell. Looking for Jaminsky low. Back to Denard. He's going to bring it back out. Harrell takes it. Inside the Banks. Here Spanarkel moves in with a jumper. No good, and he charges. Good defense for the Goose. That's second on Spanarkel. It'll be Kentucky's ball. Kentucky asking about shooting, but they said nope, and I don't think they deserve one. He charged before he got the shot away. I don't think it accounted if it had gone in. 3:35 left in the half. Kentucky on the attack, looking at a tight 2-3 this time. Macy comes right up to it, gives to Slater. Slater bluffs a pass, one bounce, and Macy comes deeper to take it. Works to the left side, down the left side to Givens. Givens to Macy. Macy just looking. Rolls back out and gives to Slater. Want Duke to come get him. Slater bouncing. Now he says, Macy, come over and get it. I don't want to throw it that far. I could pick it off. That was a good call. Macy with it now. Slater swings through, comes back out to go into Givens. He makes his move, flips it up coming in, missed it. Callens go for it, can't get it. There's a loose ball, and Duke's got it. They got a 3-on-2 run. Cross court to Denard. Denard gives to Harrell. In the corner to Denard. To Jaminsky inside, out to Spanarkel. An 18-footer is good, and they ran that well. 35-32 is Kentucky's lead. Cut to 3. 2:45 left in the half. Macy. They had the shots. Here's Givens. Mishandles. Gives to Cowan. Cowan to Slater out of the left corner. No good. Rebounded by Spanarkel, and Duke's running. Kentucky a little slow getting back. And here is Denard along the baseline. He travels with it. Stepped on the line. Duke was a little out of control coming down that time. Slater popped one out of the corner, but he's been a little strong with the last couple. All right, Kentucky working against the zone. Cowan on the left side, left corner to Macy. That's who they want in the corner, I think. They go low to Phillips, who's back in with a hook shot. No good. And out of bounds, it'll be Kentucky's ball as Denard mishandled it. Hey, the team playing very well right now, folks, just to be honest with you.
The Cats got to be playing jumpy.
Here's Slater taking the inbounds pass. Gives to Macy. Macy coming out of there with it. Gives back to Slater. Working around the 2-3 zone to Cowan. Out to Macy. Right side to Givens. He lets it fly from 20. Good. Boy, the Goose is out of tournament. 37-32 Kentucky with 2 minutes to go in the half. Harrell down for Duke. Bumps with Macy. No call. Driving in a Spanarkel at 12 feet. Got it. 37-34 as he was able to penetrate on that left side. And Levon Williams is coming up. Here's Slater to Givens. Outside to Macy. Macy, right corner to Slater. Here's Phillips working for a shot. Fall-away jumper, no good. Tapped up, good by Givens. 39-34. Here's Spanarkel. He gives to Harrell. To Jaminsky on the high post. Spanarkel breaking in. Puts it up, coming in, no good. Takes his own rebound. Puts it up, no good. But Phillips got him, and that's 4 on Mike Phillips. Roby and Levon Williams checking in. But before they could get Mike out, he picked up his 4th. That is 14 fouls on Kentucky. Mike has not, he's made some good moves, but he hasn't been able to put them in. Spanarkel on the line for 2. 55. He has 4 field goals for Duke, which weigh the most there. Spanarkel drills it.
But it hasn't taken him long with these fouls, Kaywood, to kind of even out the situation as far as experience and playing goes.
That's right. One senior with 4, another one on the bench with 3. Spanarkel fires. It's there.
So folks, when those great American writers write about the experience of Kentucky, don't believe it, because the youth is out there playing against the youth of Duke.
39-36. Duke's got that 3-quarter zone press on. Here's Slater. Throws a dangerous pass. Givens gets it. Throws to Roby on the left side. Out to Macy. Macy coming out on the dribble. Goes to Givens. He turns and tries a 20-footer. In and out. No good. Levon Williams puts it up. Missed it. Tapped up. No good. And a foul on who? I believe it's on Levon Williams. It is.
This official keeps looking over our shoulder and winking at somebody in the Duke crowd, and he keeps calling them that way, too.
Well, I don't say that, but he sure hasn't had any friends in Lexington right now. Kentucky with 15 fouls, Duke with 9. And it's keeping Duke in the game. There's no question about it. Banks, who hasn't missed in 6 tries, goes up to try again. Freddie Cowan gets up off the Kentucky bench. A freshman. Banks fires. Rolls in off the front edge.
He replaces Levon Williams.
39-37, so Kentucky's lead is back to 2. Can go to 1 right here. Cowan went in for Williams. Levon Williams comes up. The shot in there. 39-38. Not only is Duke staying in the game with free throw shooting, but I think even more importantly, for a stretch drive, Kentucky has people in real foul trouble. Here's Roby driving it. He can't get through. He waits. Gives to Claytor. Claytor working outside the zone to Givens. Out to Macy. Right side to Cowan. Cowan looking. Gives to Claytor in the right corner. He comes outside to Macy. Cowan wants a floater, but there are too many big people to go to Givens. Givens makes his move, runs into all kinds of trouble, picks it up, puts it up and in. There's a long one to Jiminski. He's on the baseline. Throws it out to Banks. Banks comes in, gives off to Denard. Kentucky recovered quickly there. Spanarkel drives, goes up, passes off to Jiminski. He tries to put it up, does, no good. Roby comes off with it. Good defense by Roby. Macy throwing long for Givens. Givens long one left side. Good! 43-38 Kentucky. Banks running the other way, and he charges, and they can't call that anything else. Kentucky's coaches are up. Givens plastered to the floor. It's got to be charging. It can't be anything else. It can't be anything else. That's right. That's his second. Jack Givens stood right there and drew a hard charge. As Banks a little frustrated at the moment. 3 seconds to go, and Ralph Jack Givens is playing some kind of a basketball game.
He certainly is, Kaywood. The man steps up there, having missed 1 free throw, his second. And he's been the man that has been able to go ahead and put Kentucky in the lead despite the adversity they have gone through. The cry is goose as the official talks over it just a moment with Jim Spanarkel to find out about it. Rick Roby waves to Coach Joe Hall, and I don't think Kentucky wants to do anything except drop back if Goose puts these 2 in.
Well, you got to make 1 to get 2, Ralph. And the first one's been the tough one for Kentucky. So far, I haven't had a lot of them. It's good. Jack Givens, 22 points, and we're not to the half.
I'm working.
Coach Joe Hall doesn't want to run out, Ralph, I think is what he's scared of.
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm working on faith.
Well, you had a lot, and it was well justified. Givens on the bonus shot. He rolls it in, and that equals Kentucky's biggest lead on top by 7. Here's the long pass. Roby picks it off, puts it down, throws it the other way. No good, but the half is over, and Kentucky has a 7-point lead over Duke. 45-38. Back with the story. This is the University of Kentucky Basketball Network.
Kentucky has its equal of the biggest lead of the night up on the board. That at 7 points at 45-38. This is Ralph Factor with Kaywood Ledford in St. Louis, Missouri, and we're happy you could join us for our final basketball game broadcast of the year for the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky has done something in the first half that they did not want to do, and that's let Duke play this long. Duke, a young, experienced ball club, it was felt by most experts that Kentucky could come out here and get them down early, would not be able to come back. The people did think, however, that if Duke got a lead, that Kentucky could come along and take it back away from them. And if they did that, Kentucky would go on to win on that side, because as some newspaper man said this morning, you can't beat Kentucky but once. And if you go ahead of them, that's the same as beating them. You have a 7 or 8 point lead as far as the Wildcats are concerned. But it's been a great, great week. Kentucky winning over Arkansas the other day. And tonight they're in the championship. The fans, there have been many of them, have had a great time. Yesterday, Kaywood and I had a broadcast from the Soapers Riverfront and over 1,000 people there. We're happy they could join us. We hope you enjoyed the program. The officials check the basketballs out. They clear the way out in front of the official scores table. It says Go Big Blue, and we're about ready to start the second half of play. The last 20 minutes of the national championship game, and here's Kaywood Ledford to call it.
Jaminsky for Duke, Roby for Kentucky, and the tap goes to Duke. And James Lee starting. They throw to Banks, and Kentucky a little slow getting back into Jaminsky. Turns around, misses the shot, and James Lee comes off the board. He's bringing it out up to Givens. Givens checks on the left side. Goes into Roby. Roby trying to get to the basket, puts it up, and it's blocked, and Duke comes up with it. Roby angry, thinking he was fouled, but there's no call. Here's Spanarkel driving. Lee with him. Spanarkel fires coming in. Good. And Duke draws first blood. 45-40. Kentucky on top and with the ball. Duke still in that 2-3 zone. Kyle Macy walks it in. Macy and Claytor to guards. Lee and Givens playing the forwards. Roby at center. Macy inside to Givens. It's slapped away from him. He goes and gets it. Back to Macy. Macy throws a pass. It's picked off by Spanarkel. Spanarkel throws long. Here's Harrell. Shoots. Got it. And I believe he's going to be called for charging. Yep. Does the basket count? Claytor took the charge, but I believe the basket will count. Basket good. So Duke has scored the first 4 points of this second half as Kentucky is turning it over right now. Harrell picks up his first foul, but Duke is not in any foul trouble, and they have cut Kentucky's lead to 3 with 7 at halftime. They are playing much more tenaciously, defensive, grabbing. Givens to Macy. Macy threw a lazy pass. He bluffs it this time, gives back to Givens, back to Macy. Macy bouncing into James Lee with a hook shot. It is good. A lazy hook shot that hung on the front edge and rolls in. 47-42. Long pass to Jaminsky. He cross-courts it out to Spanarkel. Spanarkel driving, goes up for a shot. It's good. Claytor hit the deck, no call. So Spanarkel is coming out firing. Duke is outscoring Kentucky. Now Kentucky dominated the field goal shooting in the first half, but Duke is the hot hand right now. 47-44. Claytor with it. Wants to go low. Can't get in there. Gives to Jack Givens. He goes up from 12, and it's short. James Lee takes it, puts it back up. No good. Tapped in by Givens. Kentucky a little slow getting back as Harrell runs it. Duke trying to pick up the tempo. Here's Harrell. Drives right into the zone. Passes off to Banks. Throws to Jaminsky. Baseline jumper. No good. Tapped in by Denard. His first 2. Duke outscoring Kentucky 8-4. Cats lead 49-46. Kentucky's got to get it going. Got to get out stronger on the boards. Macy straight in. To Givens. To Macy. Claytor on the left side. Going up from 20. Got it. 51-46. Duke coming down in a hurry. Spanarkel. He checks. Banks comes down, takes it. Left side to Denard. Goes low to Jaminsky. Banks coming in there. Missed it, but Lee bumped him. He did. He had gotten inside Lee. Coach Joe Hall looking to his bench. James Lee has just picked up his 4th.
Second Kentuckian to have 4 fouls. Mike Phillips did not open up the second half. James Lee opened in his place because he had 4 fouls.
Williams will go in for James Lee. James let Denard get inside him, or Banks get inside him there, and Banks, who hasn't missed in 8 trips to the line, will be up for 2. So Duke has come out fighting. It's no good. Misses the first one. That's Banks' first miss in 9 tries. But Duke has outplayed Kentucky the first 2 minutes and 18 seconds of this second half. They're taking it to them, as the saying goes. Banks. It is no good again, and Roby clears the board. Gets it up to Claytor, who almost walked. Gets it off to Macy. He almost walked. And a technical has just been called on the Duke bench. And I have to agree that Bill Foster might have had a complaint there because Claytor, I thought, dragged his pivot foot. So Macy will go to the line for the first time. Shoot 2. Foster had a complaint on that one, but he sure can't have a complaint on the officiating because his team has lived at the line. Macy with a pair of free throws. First one is up. Good. 52-46. He can equal Kentucky's halftime lead. He got it. So Kentucky, after seeing its lead whittle away, has built it back out to 7. 53-46. Kentucky has the ball at midcourt. Duke in a 2-3 zone as Macy stands at midcourt. Back over the line to Claytor. Claytor gives it back to Macy. And Macy strolls across the 10-second line, looking at the Kentucky bench. He gets no word there, so he goes to work. Drives the right side, still working. Can't go. He looks, bounces to Roby along the baseline. Stop! Beautiful pass from Kyle Macy, and Kentucky has its biggest lead on top of 9. Here's Harrell. Drives in, left corner, Denard pulls the trigger. It is no good. Battle for it. Knocked down. Picked up by Denard. He hands it off in there, and Banks lays it in. Just real hustle in there by both teams, and Duke came up with the ball 55-48. Claytor to Macy outside. Macy into the top of the key. He spins as he's picked up by that zone to Givens. Back to Macy. Macy looking at LaVon Williams on the high post. Gives to Claytor. Back to Macy. To Claytor. Back to Macy. Macy started through. Now Claytor swings through. And Macy gives to Claytor on the right side. He checks. Roby. High post. Back out to Macy. Macy backs out of there. They didn't have much of a purpose going there with that one. So they're going to set it up and try it again. Now Claytor's out working with it. Spanarkel on him. Here's Givens. Wide open right corner. Got it. 56-48. Kentucky the 1-3-1. And Duke is asking for a timeout, and I think it's for Bill Foster to complain to the official. And Coach Joe Hall is making his way up right now. And he is stopped by the other official. He says, no, I got the right to listen in there. 16 minutes, 15 seconds to go with a timeout. Kentucky leading 57-48. Duke working the ball. That was not really a timeout. Here's Harrell passing to Jaminsky outside Spanarkel. He's driving. Puts up his shot coming in. No good. Scrap for the rebound, and it is on Spanarkel. That's his third. He's the first Duke player to pick up 3 fouls. It's only 2 this half against Duke. Kentucky's ball, 16 minutes exactly to go.
I think that Bill Foster started that discussion with the official, Jim Bain, a minute ago, just to slow down the pace of Kentucky.
Well, it worked. He took time out to go talk with him. I'm surprised he did. Here's Macy working around, gives to Givens. Givens looking, right corner to Roby. Roby dribbles, gives to Givens on that right side, back to Roby in the right corner. LaVon Williams is posted up, outside to Claytor. All right, to Macy, I beg your pardon. Claytor swings out to the left side, takes the pass. He's out of shooting range, just holding it. He's got to make a move. Now he comes out on the dribble. Macy takes the cross-court pass. Looks at Givens in there. Goes instead to Givens on the right. He swings out on the side and takes it. Gives back to Macy. Back to Givens. Givens throws it to Claytor, who breaks in. Goes up from 15. It's no good, but I think he was fouled on the shot. Harrell. His second. Third on Duke. And Claytor will get his first opportunity, I believe, at the free throw line.
That is right, and it'll give Kentucky, if he can step up there and hit 2, Kaywood, it'll give Kentucky an 11-point lead. And if he hits 1, it'll give them the longest lead of the night.
That's right. Claytor has not been to the line as a pair. First one, no, way short. Not even close. Fans say, come on. TC is not the free throw shooter he was a year ago. He fires this one. It is rolling in. It's good, and Kentucky leads by 10. As Ralph said, their biggest lead, 58-48. Duke down quickly. Harrell checks. Top of the key, passes left corner to Sutton. Here's Harrell again. He drives to the left side. Gives to Spanarkel. Down the left side to Harrell. They go into Getch, and a foul is on Kentucky. I believe Kyle Macy. That's Kyle Macy's first one. Kentucky's second. Duke takes it out of bounds. Sutton will put it in play for Duke. Left side comes to Spanarkel. Long range. Kentucky still in its 1-3-1. Down the left corner to Sutton. Out to Spanarkel. Back to Sutton. Banks on the baseline. He way outside to Harrell. It's deflected, but Spanarkel chases it down. Givens. There's the alley-oop, and they break it up inside. They're fighting for it out of bounds. Kentucky's ball. That's what they worked so effectively against Notre Dame, but Kentucky's defense collapsed, batted it around, and Banks trying to get it back, hit it last. Denard checks back in as Sutton goes out. But Jaminsky not in there at the moment. Here's a 1-3-1 zone now by Duke. Right side to Givens. Looking at the 1-3-1. Bluffs it inside. Cross-courts it to Macy. Macy swings to the left side. Claytor right on the top of the key. Tries to go in. He can't. He backs out of there with it. And Harrell putting pressure on him. Macy takes it. 14-20. Here's Givens wide open left side. Good. Jack Givens. And Kentucky has its biggest lead, 60-48. And Duke wants timeout with 14:21 left in the game. It's Kentucky 60, Duke 48.
Cry is go big boo as the momentum is swinging toward Kentucky. They're hitting well from the outside, and they lead by 12 with 14:21 to go. It's interesting to look around and see the coach's wise face. Leonard Hamilton's wife up shaking the blue and white shaker, looking very calm. Joe Dean's wife leaping up and down, shaking that blue and white shaker. Dickie Parsons' wife, Steele, sitting very calmly and watching everything. And Catherine Hall, the wife of Joe Hall, sitting there with her eyes closed, just absorbing the crowd noise as the game progresses along. Duke's ball. Here's Kay Wood.
Kentucky hitting 55-8, Duke 45-1. Kentucky still in its 1-3-1. Here's Duke with it. Banks, back to Harrell, left corner to Denard. To Harrell. Harrell drives in, goes up, passes to Jaminsky, close, turns around, hits a hook shot. Jaminsky's first bucket here in the second half, and that's Duke's plan. He just came back in. Duke took the timeout, and they're going to say, let's go to the big guy. 60-50, Kentucky leading. Macy working the left side, bumps a little, no call. He checks. Slater comes out and takes it. He makes his move and goes down the lane, puts it up, and it'll be goaltending on Jaminsky. Drilling Slater gets his 7th point.
Well, he beat Spanarkel because Spanarkel had overplayed him, and TC really took advantage of it.
He knifed at the ball and missed, but those big guys are tough for a 6'1 guard to score on there, but he had got goaltending. Here's a steal by LeVon Williams, who's in. He waits, gives to Clater. LeVon just reached in and came up with that one. 62-50 Kentucky as Clater drives over. He checks, gives to Roby on a high post. Roby to Macy. Macy goes right. Bounces to Rick Roby. Roby to the basket, lays it up and in. 64-50, Kentucky's biggest lead. Duke coming back. Macy. Shepard's Harrell, right side, to Denard. They're looking for Jaminsky. They go to Banks instead. Out to Harrell. Harrell, right corner. Here's Jaminsky's hook. This one is bouncing off, but Jaminsky goes and gets it. They fight for the rebound. There's a foul on LeVon Williams. His second. Kentucky's third. Each team has committed 3 fouls here in this half. It'll be Duke's ball out of bounds.
Jaminsky has such a great soft touch with the ball. He tantalizes you by holding it out at 6'11", and it's difficult for a little man to get to. Then he flips it with the wrist, and it very softly teeters on the wrist.
Kentucky was going so hard for it. They come in right underneath the Banks. He puts it up and misses it. Jack Givens comes off with it. Gives the Clater to Macy. Bender is in now for Duke. Macy comes on down quickly. Still working. We're right side. He gives to Givens. He swings out, goes into the lane, goes up from 12, misses this one. Roby takes it, makes his move, puts it up, no good. Givens has got it. He's up. It's good. And he's fouled. And I think he was fouled. My golly, what a... Jack the Goose Givens. Is he ever turning it on? And Duke wants another timeout. 12:42 to go, and Kentucky has spread it out to a 66-50 lead over the Duke Blue Devils. This is the University of Kentucky Basketball Network.
Kentucky's longest lead of the night is at 16, and on the boards, and Jack Givens will have an opportunity to extend it to 17. What a game the Goose has played. 13 out of 18 from the outside. 5 out of 6 from the free throw line, and he drew the foul a moment ago. Well, Mike Jaminsky, that is his second. Haywood, these basketball players on the court now for Kentucky, really, I think, taking a bum rap to press during this NCAA. They called him personality. Having no personality, they called him a machine. But as it was said today, this is the age of machines, and they're playing like it now. Extending the lead to 16, and the Goose is performing well.
Oh, 31 points, and I tell you, they're not machines to the people in the Commonwealth. It's Kentucky against the world here in St. Louis, though, and they have been called emotionalist, rough, and it's affected, I think, the officiating in the first half. Givens sets up on the line. No good. He missed it. Tonight's attendance, 18,721. Duke attacking right now. Spanarkel with it. Kentucky's 1-3-1 zone. Freddie Cowan is in. Cross court to Bender. Bender gives back to Spanarkel. He drives in. A 12-footer is good, and he's fouled. Cowan got him. I'll tell you, Spanarkel, he's their money ball player, and he is out there playing now. And Freddie Cowan picks up his first one. That's number 4 on Kentucky, and a chance for a 3-point play. Macy is replaced by Jay Scheidler. 66-52. And Spanarkel, as we say, a chance for a 3-point play. He has 16 points. He leads Duke. Spanarkel fires it. It's good. That's Duke's 1 for 3 this half. Kentucky is 3 of 5. Full court press. Zone press is on right now. Claytor gets it inbounds, gives it right back to Scheidler, gives to Givens. Givens is dribbling, gets it across the line. He checks, he waits, cross court to Claytor. Claytor moves in, throws a bad pass, but it was batted right back to him. Freddie Cowan, jump shot right corner, no good, and Banks takes it off. Long pass to Jaminsky. He has to chase it down. Did a good job underneath the Spanarkel turnaround jumper. It's no good. Laid in by Denard. And Duke's got a run going. 66-55. Kentucky's 16-point lead cut down to 15. Roby throwing to Jay Scheidler. Scheidler checks. Goes to Roby driving. Lays it in. 68-55. Bender with it. They're trying to move down before Kentucky gets to the zone set. Inside, knocked down, but picked up by Denard, and he hits a jumper. Kentucky's getting slow. Kentucky might be tired. They're getting back slowly on defense. They've got a three-quarter zone press to Givens. Givens heads in, stops, passes off to Roby. He's fouled by Bender, and they say good block. Oh, boy. Bender got him by both wrists. Roby just smiled. Had a gimme. I thought Rick got handcuffed on that one. It was a smart play by Bender, though, because he would have really crammed it in there. Jay Scheidler out of bounds for Kentucky. To Givens, he mishandles it out of bounds. That ball was deflected by Duke, and Givens should have let it go, but he tried to grab it. I tell you, Duke's coming back in this thing right now. There's still 11 and a half minutes to go. Kentucky's going to has to pull up its socks and get back to war like it was earlier. Duke doesn't quit easily. Bender over to Spanarkel. Right side to Denard. They go work inside the Banks. Turnaround jumper is no good. Who's the foul on? Roby, I believe. Rick Roby picks up his first foul. That's 5 on Kentucky. 2 shots. Duke is taking the ball inside now, as Kentucky was successful doing against the Duke zone, but Duke is in a run right now. And Eugene Banks is on the line. He has hit 8 of 10. He gets 2. That'll equal the free throws the second half. First one, there. So Kentucky's lead has been cut from 16 down to 10. 68-58. Banks can cut it to 9. When it looked like Kentucky might be about to put them away, Duke won't quit. Good again. So it's only 9, 68-59. Jay Scheidler will put the ball in play. They're giving Macy a rest right now. Comes into Claytor. They're coming after Claytor. He throws a pass up to Givens. Givens moving down. They got 3-on-1. Givens pulls up, fakes, puts his shot up. It's no good. Put in by Williams on the rebound. Good rebound by LaVon Williams. 70-59 Kentucky. Here's Spanarkel with it. Almost walks, hangs on. Floats it to Banks out in backcourt. Back to Spanarkel. And it's knocked away. Spanarkel picks it up. Oh, come on. They said Claytor reached in and got him. I don't know. That's his third one. Close. That's 6 on Kentucky. So Kentucky now pulling away in the foul derby again. But it'll be out of bounds to Duke. And Kyle Macy is checking back in. Probably will come in for Claytor this time. He does. Claytor's been out there quite a while. Probably needs a rest.
And the Goose is probably tiring pretty much now, Kaywood. But with the foul situation on Lee, they can't give him a rest.
All right, Duke working against the zone. Spanarkel straight away. Here is Bender. He penetrates, flips it back out to Spanarkel. 25-footer. Got it. 70-51. Kentucky's lead back to 9. The press is on. Givens comes down and takes the inbounds pass. Throws a pass intended for Scheidler, but he wasn't looking. But Macy alertly went after it and got it. Brings it up. They're playing the 2-3 a little further out now, which Kentucky, but they're really packing it in under the basket. They've got a wide area in the middle, and that's where they've been hitting Givens. He's got it in there. He goes to Roby. As Roby tries to go up, it's knocked out of his hands out of bounds. Rick is not powering his way to the basket right now, and Rick looks tired. He was going to cram that ball, but he really didn't have a good grip on it and not take it with great authority, and he's played an awful lot of basketball and good basketball. Scheidler in the corner, runs it back out at long range on the inbounds play. 10:23 to go. Macy joins him, takes the pass, right side to LaVon Williams. He's looking inside with it. He's already dribbled. Bad pass, but Macy comes up with it. Gives to us a low pass. Left side to Givens. Out to Macy. Scheidler really running out there. He's fresh and he's driving. Macy says, come out and get me. Now he drives it into them. Gives to Scheidler. Long range right side. Back to Macy. Macy backs it out of there. Left side to Givens. Givens back out to Macy. Macy works the left side. Reverses. Comes back out. Bender has to come get him. He tries to get it into Givens, but it was kicked by Duke. But that ball was almost picked off. 9:49 to go. Kentucky with just a 9-point lead. They need to get an attack going. They can't sit on the ball. Macy into Givens. fakes, rolls right, gives to Scheidler, 24-footer, no good. Givens goes and gets it, gives it back to Macy. Macy drives in, passes to Scheidler. He was open but changes his mind. Givens takes it, 10-footer, good. Intercepted by Kyle Macy on the inbounds play. He gives to Roby coming down, but Roby decides to wait. Now it's a good thinking. Scheidler get it back. Inside to Givens. He whips it to Levon Williams. He tries to work under, can't, gives it to Givens. Givens 12-footer, no good. Goes for it, gets, but Levon Williams has got it. Outside, walking call on Levon Williams. Williams and Givens really battling each other for their, not knowing they were teammates. Looked like Kentucky had it back. 72-61, Kentucky on top, but Duke has the ball. Kentucky has played 10 men. Duke has played 8. Here's Spanarkel. Gives it back, and Bender passes off the right corner to Denard. He goes to Banks, back outside to Bender. To Banks, who's moved in, puts it up. Roby blocks it. Givens comes up with it. Gives to Macy. He throws it out to Levon Williams. He mishandles it and walks. Well, they had a 2-on-1 break, and Levon he walks. There's no question about it. And James Lee's coming in for Levon Williams. He made a big follow-up shot, but coming down on the break, he carried the ball. Couldn't get the handle on it.
At the second consecutive walking violation
on Levon. All right, Kentucky back in the 1-3-1. Right side to Denard, right corner to Banks, outside to Spanarkel. Spanarkel gives it to Bender. Bender gives to Denard. He passes in, and here's Banks. Turn around, open, lays it in. He was wide open. 72-63. Kentucky's lead back to 9. 8:35 to go. Long way. Macy up over the time strike. Working it around. Checks, goes to Scheidler. His running mate in backcourt. Scheidler to Lee. Takes it back. Scheidler gives to Macy outside. To Roby on the high pivot. He turns, looks. Oh, it's deflected, and Scheidler had to hurry to get it. That was a lazy pass. Telegraph. Macy works to the right side. Swings in. Can't get through. Tries to get it in there. It's kicked by Duke. It'll be Kentucky's ball. But Kentucky's pass is not crisp, and Rick Roby looks very tired. He's played a whale of a game, but he looks awfully tired.
Mike Phillips has 4 fouls. We told you a minute ago. And with James Lee having 4, then Coach Hall really can't get anybody in there to give a rest to Rick Roby or to Givens.
He's got to have him in there. And Rick's played so long, he and Givens both.
This is where you have to reach down, pull it up, and go right on with it.
Last game of the season, they've got all summer to rest. But still, sometimes when the mind is willing, the body isn't. Sudduth coming in for Duke, replacing Denard.
This is giving Kentucky's people just a little bit of a breather, and boy, they needed it about this point, too.
Harrell checks in for Bender. Kentucky holds only a 9-point lead. Had it out at 16 at one stage. Into Scheidler. Left side to James Lee. Macy in the left corner looking for Roby. Can't get it in there. Bounces it back out to Scheidler. Well, they're stabbing for that ball now. They're really pressing. To Givens. Passes to Roby. It's knocked out of bounds by Banks. It'll be Kentucky's ball. If that had been a tick quicker, Givens would have had a perfect assist. But that was good defense by Banks. There was nothing wrong with the pass. Kyle Macy from his own end zone will put it in play for Kentucky with exactly 8 minutes to go. Comes into Scheidler. Scheidler looks. Tries to dribble out. Can't get out. Throws a bad pass that Macy fights for out of bounds. Kentucky's ball. They were lucky there. Some very bad passing in there by Kentucky. Scheidler got himself trapped in the corner. So Macy will try it again. And he throws outside to Roby. That's where they want it, they say. Roby waits. He gives it to Scheidler. They stab at the ball. Scheidler gives to Roby. Off to Macy. Macy works right side. He checks. Out to Scheidler. Moves in. Goes to Roby on the high post. He looks. Gives back to Scheidler. 25-footer long one left side. No good. Tapped in by Roby. Beautiful follow-up for the big guy. 74-63 Kentucky. Duke working quickly. Spanarkel firing long. No good. Tapped up. No good. Battle for it. Put up. Good. Will it count? Oh, shouldn't have. The whistle was awful late there. It's going to be on Scheidler. But Scheidler picks up his third. And Duke just went to the boards there like they owned them. Sudduth, the guy, Jim Sudduth, gets his first field goal and a chance for a 3-point play. He's 2 for 2 from the line. He can reduce Kentucky's lead to 8 right here. Little by little, Duke inching up on Kentucky. That would cut Kentucky's lead in half. They were out by 16. Sudduth bouncing around on the ball to his feet, fires it good. No, came out of there. James Lee pulls it down. Hovers over the ball. Gives it to Scheidler, to Macy. They're going to try to run and jump, Macy. He leaps, fires it over the line to Givens. Givens sweeps in, checks, he waits, gives to Scheidler out in backcourt. Scheidler down the right side to Lee. Lee back to Scheidler, cross court to Macy. Macy to Lee. Lee passing to Givens. He moves in, puts it in. Great assist by James Lee there. 76-65. Harrell quickly over the line. Duke picking up the tempo. Spanarkel with it. Spanarkel back to Harrell. Harrell left corner. Sutton's long one from there is no good, and James Lee's up and claims the rebound. Two big ones for Big James. Scheidler down court. 6:42 to go in the game, and Kentucky takes its first call timeout from the bench. 6:39 to go. Kentucky 76, Duke 65. This is the University of Kentucky basketball.
Kentucky getting their first call timeout of the night. Duke is forcing to play. Let's see what the Wildcats will do. They're hitting on 21 of 45, or Duke is hitting on 21 of 45 for 46.6%. Kentucky 32 of 58 for 55.1%. Kentucky 12 of 17 from the line. Duke 23 of 27 from the charity stripe. Kentucky has 29 rebounds. Duke has 24. And we're about ready to go back to basketball action. It will be Kyle Macy putting it in play for the University of Kentucky. Haywood?
All right. Jay Scheidler moves it over the 10-second line, gives to Macy. Duke is in a 2-3, but they're coming much further out. We've got Mike Phillips in there. He dribbles, gets it back out to Scheidler. They're trying to give Rick Roby a rest, Ralph. It's fairly obvious what they're doing. Scheidler drawing a double team, gets it off to Macy. Kentucky does not run the four corners, but they do have a delay game, and they're in it right now. Macy down on the left side gives to James Lee. He swings in to Givens. He goes up from 10 feet. No good. Rebounded by Duke. He was wide open. He just missed it. Banks running it down. Gives to Spanarkel. Passes in. Banks lays it in. All for easy. 76-67. Kentucky's lead back to 9. I don't think they wanted James Lee to take that shot there. Coach Joe Hall is up yelling something out there. All right, here's Scheidler. Gives out to Kyle Macy. They're counting on Macy. He's got to do something with it, so he gives to Givens. Givens to Lee in the corner. Out to Givens. Clears it out to Scheidler. Right side to Macy. Into Phillips. He's going to hook. He swings and hits it. That's Phillips' first field goal to make it 78-67. Kentucky hurries back. The 1-3-1. Down quickly is Harrell. Left side to, well, Harrell's got it back. Now he gives to Denard again at left corner. Scheidler over with him. Here's Harrell going in for Banks on the old gimme. He missed it, and Scheidler got the rebound. He's called for steps. He went up in the air for some reason and tried to put a dribble down. Banks is shaken up, but Scheidler turned it over. He made a silly move there.
The NCAA Basketball Committee Chairman Wayne Duke has confirmed a report that St. Louis police have been notified that at least 2 threats have been made on the life of the freshman Gene Banks of Duke. They say they think they are prank calls, but they're not taking any precautions. There's security all around this building, inside and out.
Well, that's a terrible shame. He's a fine young man. Win or lose, there's just no place for that. 78-67 Kentucky, but Duke's got the ball as Kentucky just turned it over. Here's a floater outside. Macy breaks it up, and Buddy goes right to Banks, who goes to the basket, lays it in. So it looked like Kentucky had the ball, but Duke is just out hustling him a little bit right now, and Kentucky looks a little more tired than Duke does. Coach Joe Hall pacing the sideline. Macy over the line. Checks. Goes to Givens at the top of the key. He bounces back out to Scheidler. 4:58 to go. Scheidler moving laterally. Goes to Givens down the left side. He goes to James Lee. He puts it up. No good. Goaltending. So they say hit it on the way down. It'll be 80-69 Kentucky. 4:51 to go. Kentucky trying to hang on to win its first NCAA championship in 20 years. It's 5th overall. Slater is going to be coming back in for Kentucky. All right, they're trying to get some fresh troops in. Roby still resting. Banks on the left side, going low in there to Denard. It's knocked down, and Kentucky's got it. The steal was made by Lee. Gives to Macy. Cross court to Scheidler. Scheidler hurries it down. Kentucky does not want him to hurry. They say slow down. Goes into Givens. Givens has trouble hanging on. He puts it up and in anyway. 37 points for the Goose. 82-69 Kentucky. Givens intercepts, but they say he fouled. Ooh. That looked like a clean steal to me. But he's just been stuck with his bird, and Duke will be on the line for the 1-1. Duke spent the first half at the free throw line. 21 times to Kentucky's 12. Hadn't been quite as bad the second half. 4 minutes, 24 seconds left in the ball game. Well, the fans, Kentucky fans yelling, we're number one, and I would say that's awfully premature. There's a long way to go in this basketball game. They were number one coming into the game, but what counts is how you come out of it. It's going to be Spanarkel on the line. He has hit 3 of 4. He's an excellent free throw shooter. Has 19 points. He's an excellent basketball player. Jim Spanarkel. You'll get the 1-1. Duke has committed only 4 fouls this half. Kentucky has committed 7 or 8. 8, I guess. They stop at 7. Spanarkel hits it. 82-70. Kentucky with the lead. Spanarkel trying to cut it to 11 points. All right. Here's his shot. It is dead center. Duke coming with a press and coming hard this time now, and Sudduth is coming in for the Blue Devils. Kyle Macy from his own end zone. He looks. He comes into Clater. Clater drawing a crowd. Now he moves with it himself as they back off of him one-on-one, and he drives it over the line with Sudduth after him. Moves down the left side. Reverses. Goes to Phillips on that high post. Phillips to Macy. Macy's going up from 20 feet with one. Good. 84-71. Here's a long pass to Banks. He went a mile high to get it. Puts it up. Goes in. Boy, Banks can really get off his feet. And Coach Hall is yelling at Phillips, get back. They're slow getting back that time. And Duke had almost, not a run out, but here's Phillips with it to Clater. Floats it to Givens in the right corner. He lets it fly. It's in there. 39 points for Givens. Check me on that, Ralph. Here's Banks throwing it outside. Spanarkel driving into the key. Goes up. It is no good. Taps up. No good. Taps up. No good. Loose ball. Banks has got it. Kentucky not getting on the boards that time to Sudduth. Spanarkel driving right side. Passes back out to Banks. Banks moves in. It's knocked away from him, but right to Jaminsky, who hits a jumper from 10 feet out. 86-75. Kentucky by 11. 3:18 to go. All right. Slater breaks clear, gives it back to Macy. It's really, they don't come hard at you in line. They try to trap you to come in, but now they're backing off going man-to-man. Duke is in a man-to-man right now. Here's an interception. Bad pass, and Duke's got it going the other way. They got 2-on-1. Sudduth moving in. Passes in there. He walked anyway. He was intercepted by Macy. No, he didn't walk. Macy just got the interception. 86-75. 2:53 to go. Harrell tracking Macy every step. Macy drives it over the 10-second line into Phillips. Weaves it around. Moving with it himself. Flips it off. Givens going up from 15. Got it. And 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Duke wants a timeout as Kentucky moves ahead 88-75.
Jack Givens having some kind of a game. It is approaching an NCAA record. Givens has 18 field goals now. The record is 21 by Bill Walton. He made him against Memphis State here in St. Louis in 1973. Givens has 41 points. The record is by Bill Walton of UCLA of 44. He made him against Memphis State and St. Louis, 1973. So Kaywood, the cycle may have turned. He comes right back here to the St. Louis Checker Dome, where Jack Givens is trying to break the record and carry the University of Kentucky Wildcats to the national championship. Hometown boy makes good. Born and raised in Lexington, Kentucky, signed with the University of Kentucky without question, and he has played beautifully in 4 years there.
Oh, has he ever? All right. He was the sixth man on that as a freshman. All right. Duke attacking Kentucky's 1-3-1. Here's a looper to Bender. Givens knocks it down, but it goes out of bounds. The Goose almost picked it off. He's playing both ends of the floor, Ralph.
That is a fact. He, a moment ago, stole one he didn't think he fouled, but they called him on it.
All right, Duke attacking again. Spanarkel driving in right side. 18-footer is rolling off of there. Tapped up, no good. Tapped up again. Kentucky not getting on the boards. Put back up, and it is good, and a foul. It's put up by Bender now, and Bender is a 6'2" guard. That's his first field goal.
And Mike Phillips has just fouled out of the game.
That's all for Phillips. Mike tried awfully hard. He just did not have a good tournament. He had one game, but he sure did work hard, and the fans are going to give him a big ovation. I know he's very disappointed with himself. Bender will be at the line. He's 2 for 2 coming up to this one. 88-77, Kentucky by 11 points. It can be cut to 10, and with 2:18 to go, it's not over. They can score points in bunches in this game of basketball. Kentucky's got to fight hard for it. The Robies had a little rest now. The basket is good, so it's 10 points. All right, here comes the press hard by Duke this time now. Kyle Macy from his own end zone. He looks. He comes in to Jack Givens. Macy takes it back. He's double-teamed, gets the pass to Claytor. Claytor up to James Lee, but he's fouled by Bender. That's only the 5th foul on Duke this half, and I think Kentucky here is glad to have it. They're walking the other end. No, we don't have a 1-and-1. No 1-and-1. They're walking down to shoot. That's only 5 fouls, and I think Kentucky just soon have the ball back myself.
Yeah. Still some time with 2:13 left.
Truman is 1 for 2. All right, Roby takes the inbounds pass. They go back to Macy. Macy spins away from Bender, who stabbed at the ball. He passes over the line to Claytor. Claytor draws a double team, gives it to Macy. Macy is on his dribble. Down the left side to Lee. Lee coming for the basket. Goes up for a jumper at 6. No good. And Duke's got it back. They're going to have to be a little more patient in their offense. Here's Denard into Jaminski. He lays it up, came off, put it right back up, comes off again, and we got a whistle inside. Who's it on? It's on Roby, his second. But Kentucky does not want to take shots. They only want to take the sure things. James was wide open from 6 feet normally, but with 1:51 to go and only a 10-point lead, it's not that much. Jaminski gets a pair. He hasn't missed. He still hasn't. He has now had 7 in a row. Pardon?
Some kind of sophomore. 18 years old. Skipped his senior year in high school.
88-79. Jaminski has 1 left. We'll get a station break in as soon as we can. We're going to stay with all the play, though. Jaminski fires. It's there. Now, Kentucky must not roll it over, not take anything but really good shots to hang on. Here comes the press hard. Comes in to Jack Givens. Givens dribbling it out of trouble. Low throws long for Roby. Almost went out of bounds with it. That's a good catch. Roby did a good job there. Cross courts it to Macy. And they're saying spread it out now. Lee was calling for the ball, but they don't want to take it in there. Roby with it on the right side. Gives right back to Macy. Macy is fouled by Spanarkel. That's his 4th. That's 6 on Duke. Kentucky will still take it out of bounds with 1:33 to go. Kentucky with an 8-point lead, 88-80. Givens is going to put it in play just on the Kentucky side of the midcourt line. Nope. Now he walks back in, and Macy steps out of bounds. Goes into Roby. Macy crosses over the line and takes it. He wants to take it back there. Now he puts down his dribble, comes over the timeline, gets double team, gives to Claytor. Claytor is fouled by Denard. That's his 3rd, and that's 7. And now Kentucky's got to make free throws with 1:23 to go, and I think they purposely wanted to make Macy give up the ball and get it to somebody else. Scheidler will check in, but he was waved back out. Claytor has to shoot his own. Hits it. Well, they fouled the wrong man. TC stood right up there and scrambled the ropes with it. 89-80 Kentucky with 1:23 to go. The clock stopped for the free throws. The shot is short. Scrap for it. Roby gets it, but it's raked out of his hands, but the foul is going to be on Bender. And Scheidler checks in for Claytor.
Make the foul on Jaminski rather than Bender.
Jaminski is 3rd. Take it off Bender. Roby will be on the line. Rick's hit 2 out of 4. Kentucky has not hit well at the free throw line, not as well as it normally does. Roby's free throw, good. That's 19 points for Roby. He can go to 20 right here. 90-80, Kentucky leading. 1:21 left. Roby's shot. It's there. 91-80. Cats on top. Duke on the attack, facing the 1-3-1. Bender with it. Bender looking. Left side to Banks. Banks going inside and wide open. Denard just turned around and laid it in. He was wide open. And Duke wants a timeout. Kentucky did not protect on the back line that time, and it was just a gimme. And good concentration and penetration by Duke. 1 minute, 11 seconds to go. Kentucky with a 9-point lead, 91-82. This is the University of Kentucky Basketball Network.
.11 to go until the national title is decided. Kentucky leads at 91-82. Copies of the 1978 NCAA Basketball Championship program is a souvenir you'll treasure, with exclusive information on the Final Four tournament records, plus plenty of pictures, features, and much more are contained in the collector's items. Send a check or money order for $3 to NCAA Basketball Program, Box 1978, Lexington.
Macy into Roby. Roby cross-courts it to Scheidler. Scheidler runs it down the side, and it's knocked away from him out of bounds. Kentucky's ball. Almost fouled. Coach Hall telling Givens and Lee, go up, help them out, help the guards, because they're going to come after everything with everything. 1:06 to go. Macy takes it, goes to Roby deep back at the other end of the court. Roby gives up to Scheidler, to Macy, to Givens. Givens pulls up. He's going to take one at 8 feet, misses it. Rebounded by Duke. And they're rolling out of there with it. There's a floater to Jamitsky. Whips it underneath. Denard lays it in. 10 points for Denard. 91-84. Kentucky. And here's Givens' foul. They've got to do that, but they've got time. Kentucky only has a 7-point lead now. Who's that on? Kentucky wants a timeout.
The foul was on Bob Bender.
Bender picks up his third, and Kentucky is calling for a timeout. Coach Joe Hall does not want them firing shots from 15 feet. He wants them at the free throw line, and that's where they're going to be when we come back to play. Clock arrested, 47 seconds to go. Kentucky 91, Duke 84.
The free throw shooting expertise of the Kentucky Wildcats will be called upon. On the year, they hit 76.3. And Jack Givens will be the man who steps up there. The Goose is 3 points away from tying Bill Walton's all-time scoring record for the final game, the championship game. He did it in 73 in this very gymnasium. Not on the floor, but in this gymnasium.
Givens has hit 5 out of 7. 1 and 1. They got to make these. Fires it. He doesn't get it. It comes off. He missed. And Duke's running it the other way. 45, 44. Here's a pass into the left corner of Spanarkel underneath. And out of bounds. Kentucky got a break as Denard mishandled it. Kentucky gets the ball. All right. Well, Goose could have picked up 2 there, but that'll hurt him. He's got it now. He gives it off to Macy. Macy, foul by Denard. That's his fourth, so Macy will go to the line. That's who Kentucky would like to have there, but the Goose missed the front end of a 1-1, and that would have put, if he'd made them both, that would have put him within 1 point of Bill Walton's record. 35 seconds to go as Tim Stevens puts in his first appearance, as Kentucky now has played 11 men. Scheidler gets a big hand as he comes out, and he's played well. He just scored 2 points, but he played very, very well. Well, Coach Joe Hall feels good about it with just that 7-point lead. Roby comes out, and Scott Courts goes in. Dwayne Casey has not been in. Macy hits it. 92-84. Scheidler and Plater hugging each other. Here's the free throw. No good. Kyle always misses that last one. Has lately in this tournament. Duke down quickly. Denard driving. Stevens with him. And here's a shot that's in. Will it count? No. Denard charged. Don't think the basket will count. That's all for Denard, if my figures are right, but he's still out there. Well, I guess not. Oh, he's just got 4 on him, so he gave 1 to the wrong person. Chris Gettelfinger is checked in. Freddie Cowan is in. I don't know why Dwayne Casey hasn't come in. Any idea, Ralph?
I have none. I have absolutely none. They just called a technical foul at Kentucky. No, that is Goose. That's it. The Goose getting it. Kentucky hitting 55.1. And Jack goes out of the game with 41 points in the basketball game. 28 seconds left. 28 seconds is all that remains here in this basketball game.
I still don't know. Maybe Dwayne's ailing a little bit or something.
I would think 28 seconds, anybody could play that in a national championship game, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
I think they just forgot him. He's going to come in.
He's going to come in replacing who? It must be for
James Lee.
James Lee.
So that puts them all in there. They've emptied their bench, 14 of them. Lee goes out with 6 points. Slater's out with 8 points. Comes into Cowan. He gives to Dwayne Casey. Well, they take it away from him. Wait a minute. And I believe Plater fouled. Casey, I mean. Dwayne Casey picks up his first. He was slapped a little bit there, I'll be honest with you. Givens goes out with 41. He had some kind of night. Roby goes out with 20. Kyle Macy had 9. Jay Scheidler 2. Bender on the line, 1-1. He hasn't missed. He's 3 for 3. 23 seconds left. The shot is good. 92-85, 7-point lead for Kentucky. 23 seconds to go. Bender fires it. It's good. 92-86 as Scott Courts has trouble getting it in, and it's knocked back out of bounds by Duke. They'll get it back. And they want somebody else to take it out of bounds. They didn't want Scott out of there. And Kentucky calls timeout with 23 seconds to go. Nothing elapsed on the clock. Roby's going to check back in, I think. Yeah, Coach Joe Hall, I think, is going to send... Nope, Roby just came up. He's not coming in. He came up mask jumping at the table. Ralph, what did he say?
He says he's going in. He's going to go in for Scott Courts. Now, Jay Scheidler likewise will check back in. Joe just wanted to get his basketball team back in there, the entire team in the national championship game. Now the Goose is coming back in. He brought enough for the applause and recognition from the crowd here. That was 18,721. Get everybody in there so they can say they played in the national championship game. And now everybody, I think, has come back in, Kaywood, because we have James Lee back in, we have Rick Roby in, we have Kyle Macy in, we have Jack Givens in the lineup. Now let's see if Tim Stevens stays in there or not. Jay Scheidler is into the basketball game. So here it is. Scheidler, Lee, Roby, Givens, and Macy. They'll finish at 23 seconds as Kentucky leads it 92-86 over Duke. This is the national championship of college basketball right here. And it's been 20 years since the Kentucky Wildcats had the crown. They've been there twice, but they've just come away bridesmaids. against Texas Western in 66, and in 75, UCLA, when most of this group were freshmen.
Macy has it. Makes the long pass, comes into Scheidler instead. They go to Scheidler and foul him. Harrell got him. That stops the clock with 21 seconds to go. 2 shots. They're calling it an intentional foul, and Jay Scheidler. I'd already put his totals down. 92-86, Kentucky on top. Jay Scheidler will be at the free throw line for the first time tonight. He gets a pair. Dickie Parsons, one of the assistant coaches, motioning for Macy to back up with Gibbons in double safety. They don't want to run out. Scheidler, sophomore, Lawrenceville, Illinois, is in his dribble. Fires. They call it the 1-and-1 now. I thought they signaled 2 shots, I thought, but no way. So here comes Bender. He looks. He gives in to Jaminsky. He turns from 12. He's got it. 92-88. So Kentucky's lead is down to 4 with 10 seconds to go, and Duke wants a timeout. They're going right to the wire. Give Duke a lot of big A for effort in there, and Kentucky is going to have to hit some free throws or this thing ain't over. 92-88, Kentucky leading, 10 seconds left. Back to Macy, back to Roby. Roby down to James Lee. Lee driving with it, goes under, dunk. 94-88. And there's the last shot. It is over. Kentucky wins it. 94-88. So after 20 years, the Kentucky Wildcats win the NCAA championship 94-88 over the Duke Blue Devils. And James Lee, with his patented dunk shot that's electrified the crowd all season long, electrifies them here on the last second with a cram at the wire. 94-88. Oh, Kentucky winning it. It's been a long, long wait. Congratulations to these seniors, to these Wildcats, to Coach Joe Hall. 94-88. Kentucky winning it by 6 points over Duke. A Duke team that fought hard, but Kentucky leading almost all the way and coming on to win it. And what a big, big night for Kentuckians everywhere.